Hello everyone, John here for AZ Concealed Carry. Just a quick how-to video on replacing the stock grip on your AR with, in this case, the Hogue. I don't much care for the stock grip that came with mine. It's the hard plastic with these little grooves in it. Those grooves after a while tend to kind of cut into my hands a bit. It's okay, of course, you know, when you're wearing gloves, but more often than not I'm really not at the range. You know, I'm not usually wearing gloves. So I purchased these Hogue grips. They're really comfortable. They're rubber. They're great, great little grips here. Okay, so to replace it, it's actually pretty straightforward. Depending on what your manufacturer decide to do, you're either gonna have a flathead screw. You know, let me remove this here. There's gonna be one screw inside the grip that we're going to remove, and mine was a hex. Some are hexes, some are flatheads. Trying to see what size the hex is. Mine just says CRV 532. Okay, so I guess the 532 is the size. It may vary. You'll just kind of have to try a few out until you find the right one, and then you're simply gonna stick it in there, get it in place, unscrew it off. Now, one thing to keep in mind, okay, and this is very important, is as you're unscrewing it, I don't know if you can already see, but there is a tiny little spring right in there, okay, and that spring is for your safety. So you want to make sure not lose that, okay. That does have a tendency to sometimes fly out, so I just kind of like to cup it. And let's get this back in here. If you're cautious, I mean, it really won't go anywhere, but I still like to just kind of cup it just to make sure it doesn't go flying somewhere, and I don't want to spend the rest of the day trying to find it. Okay, there we go. And screw comes off. This is the screw. We are going to reuse it. The Hogues don't come with it. You use the default screw. And there is the spring. So just kind of remove that. And where's the grip? There it is. Kind of little groove there for the spring. Pop it in, and just to kind of show you what that looks like, that's where the big screw is going to go. That little slot there is for the spring, and let's just go ahead and pop it on. Oops. And you can do it two ways. You can either stick the spring in there, which will allow it to wobble quite a bit, or I stick it in the grip itself, tilt it to the side, and just kind of guide it in there. There you go. Once it's in, it's a pretty snug fit. You don't really need to hold on to it. You know, the spring's not going anywhere. And then just screw it on. Whoops. Oh, really? There we go. Okay. It actually fell right into the hole, which was kind of cool. Doesn't happen often, right? Okay, and then you just want to tighten it real good. Make sure it's on nice and snug. And then just give it a good check. Make sure everything's lined up. Make sure there's nothing out of the ordinary. And then test your safety. Okay, make sure the spring went back into place fine. And that is it. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, nice and easy. Thanks for watching.